spend Verity the review this series because of my worries that the bad guy is gonna get away. But I decided to review this chapter because it was just so awesome to see Mirio kicking finally the snot living ass out of this fug. But the despair that is incoming is just promising a very great despair. This is the Boku no Hero chapter uh, uh, 151. As Mirio saved sort of saved Eri, Overhaul, in his desperation to wipe off that stain, begins to taunt Eri, saying that you are made. Do not be selfish, Eri. You are a cursed being. But as Mirio screams to Overhaul not to call his daughter this, it turns out that yes, in the end, uh, Eri is not Overhaul's daughter. Then whose unfortunate daughter is it? I'm starting to have a feeling that maybe it's the former boss's daughter. I mean, either way, even if that's not Overhaul's daughter, it's clear though that Overhaul is scum. He is beyond scum. The very fact that he's saying to a little girl, you were born to destroy others. No one wants a girl like that is not born to be destroyed. Either way, Overhaul activates his quirk, his Overhaul quirk, where he can dissemble and resemble, proving that yes, but Mirio managed to avoid that on the hairs of his end. Because after all, Mirio is more than just a very facing quirk, he has trained very hard. And he all the while says that he doesn't care if he hurts Eri, because after all, he is the only one that can reassemble her in time. After all, he has done that so many times. That finally pushes Mirio's buttons beyond anything else, as he managed to find a spot a little bit away, where suddenly one of the Overhaul's guys are trying to shoot Mirio with a bullet, probably the master quirk erasing bullet, the one I really hate. But Mirio thinks fast and manages to cover and dodge it thanks to the mantle, where he places the girl and starts to knock out Kuru. Of course, seeing that Mirio dropped Eri, Overhaul immediately run towards Eri, but that was just what Mirio was planning, because after all, Overhaul is just that kind of scum. Delivers finally one more satisfying punch, and as he screams that the reason heroes wear capes is because they can take tormented girls in their pain and suffering and cloak them in its comfort. As Eri watches how Mirio overtakes the two thugs, all the while saying that uh, you may not be a pushover, Chisaki, but I am stronger than you, and I will protect this girl. And it's so very satisfying to see how much he punches and hurts that bastard. Even Aries is starting to get moved as she remembers his words to her. I will be your hero. But Chisaki finally begins to lose his himself, as this is a brief flashback on his when he was adopted by that previous Yakuza member, and his real name is Chisaki Kai, and the reason why he doesn't call himself Chisaki is because he abandoned that name. And it's also revealed on why he poisoned the former Yakuza, because it's been hinted he has. Apparently the former Yakuza leader was a guy who held on to the old Yakuza tradition, you know, the tradition of honor. He Overhaul already at that time had a way to reform the Yakuza, but the boss said always no, mostly because even if you are a Yakuza, you must never stray from a moral path, because that's the end of our code of chivalry, Chisaki. Nobody will follow a gangster without a heart. That confirms that Overhaul is nothing more than a complete monster, and he needs to be stopped. And that confirms why he poisoned the boss. He did not believe in the Yakuza honor or the case of chivalry. For him, it was just profit and erasing what he did not like. But then the chapter ends with despair, as the drunken guy managed to get back to life, revealing that his loyalty to the, you know, boss is simply because he needed someone who would never lie to him, and Overhaul never lied to him. He was a friend to trust. He managed to crawl to the gun where Overhaul throws the last, or I presume is one of the last, of the quirk racing, as Eri can only watch as the as that drunken memento begins to prepare a gun to shoot. Will that bullet now fire or and pierce through Mirio? Well, Midoriya and Deku and the rest of the gang has not catch up, so it's only logical if they're gonna throw us in despair. If they throw us in despair, then I won't review, and it's very likely then that either Overhaul is gonna kill Mirio or probably is gonna leave him alive just to give him a fate worse than death because he's gonna lose his quirk. But the fact that we see Eri in that final page also makes me question, what if Eri is going to jump right in front of the gun? But then again, I don't think that is possible because they're pretty far apart. But why is it that Eri has a quirk that can destroy others? Either way, all in all, seeing the reason why Mirio is so close to being the number one hero here is definitely confirmed. I mean, him kicking ass before was, of course, something before, but this time he kicked the bad guys' asses, and that was extremely satisfying. But given the mantra of Boku no Hero Academia, it's very likely that next chapter is going to be despair. So what's gonna happen? Will the bullet fire? Will it hit Mirio and will he lose his quirk? Will it hit Overhaul if Eri managed to kick away the gun? Or will Eri jump right in front of the bullet? Seems more likely that Mirio is gonna be shot here. But you give me your thoughts, if you have any.